Alright, well, hello and welcome to my unboxing of the symbolism in Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. So, let's see. First off, we got this mask here. So, in the beginning of the story, the narrator is trying to convince himself and the others around him that he is not crazy at all, but in reality, he is blinded and can only see the darkness of his own lies. And we know the saying that we could do that with our eyes closed. And the narrator goes on to live this out by basically saying, let me prove to you that I'm not crazy by telling the story perfectly normally, while wearing this blindfold where he can only see the darkness of his own lies. And then, let's see. Here we have this vulture, and the narrator describes the old man's blue vulture eye. It looks like a vulture. And one symbol of a vulture is actually death, which will correlate to the man's death later on in this story. And now, let's see. We got a stick of butter here, and this symbolizes how the narrator is buttering up the old man in the week following his death, just being real nice to him. And the story states that he has never been kinder to the old man, and he's just trying to make sure that he isn't going to suspect anything. And he then goes on to come into his room at midnight for the following 8 nights to watch him sleep. And he's being very careful and quiet, just as a thief in the night would be, being very careful and very quiet, entering the old man's room as to not wake him and make him known of his plans. And just as was mentioned earlier, the old man had a blue eye, and the color blue symbolizes calmness and tranquility, which is what the old man was experiencing during his sleep. But his tranquil sleep would not last for many more nights, as we soon find out. And then here we have this peacock here, and this peacock symbolizes how cocky the narrator is about his plans. He just boasting and bragging about his plans, being real cocky and being real proud of himself. And then on the 8th night, when he's in there, he chuckles to himself, which actually startles the old man and wakes him. And here he had this python here, and as the old man gets awoken and becomes startled, like, who's there? The narrator stands there as a python, waiting for the perfect moment to strike his victim. And then once that perfect moment comes, he strikes and suffocates his victim to death, just as a python does to its prey. And then once the narrator dismembers and buries the corpse underneath the floor and invites the police in, this eyeball here represents how the narrator feels like the police can see right through his plan, and is making him very paranoid. And paranoia can also stem from the feeling of being watched, just as the sound described as a watch enveloped in cotton, which is making him very nervous and very paranoid. And even the title, The Telltale Heart, symbolizes how the heart beating from underneath the floor of the presumed dead man tells the tale of the man's heinous crime. And that is unboxing The Telltale Heart.